Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I have your attention, please? Hello, everybody. We'd like to start the evening off. Thank you so much for coming. I know you guys have busy days and long hours, so we don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate all your immediate and prompt responses for this evening's event. It's very much appreciated. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the chairman of the Citizens Campaign, Mr. Harry Kuzi.
Thank you so much. I normally don't need a podium, but my hip stops, so I'm going to lean on the podium. I just want to say that I'm proud to be a citizen of the great city of Perth, the Amboy, and I'm very, very grateful for you coming out here tonight. I know how busy you are. You are the citizen leaders of the city, and you put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and your being here is a great compliment to me and for the Citizens Campaign, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, just to start tonight up, I just want to tell you one of the things that inspired me to press the people in the Citizens Campaign. You know, I'm a volunteer, but I'm chairman of the board, and we got into the city's initiative, so I put my thumb on the scale that we come to Perth Amboy first. And the reason I did that was because of a man you know all of you love, Austin Guns. You know, because Austin, when he was at his retirement dinner, and people asked him, you know, after his many years of service here, you know, what his words of wisdom were. He said, all I can tell you is, don't be waiting, nobody's coming for us. If we're going to make it as a city, we're going to make it on the strength of our own initiatives. And I think that's probably the best way to characterize this evening. It's about developing the power that's within us as citizens of the city of Perth Amboy. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Citizens Campaign is, I know some of you are friends and know, but bear with me, I'll just tell the others. We're a nonpartisan group, a volunteer community of citizens, former government lawyers, elected officials, administrators, and policy experts who volunteer their time to help people who want to be citizen leaders understand how the power levers of government work, understand how to find solutions not based on philosophy or rhetoric, but based on evidence of success in other communities, and how to exercise a no-blame politics in this world of finger-pointing and backstabbing. And we've been very successful. We've trained thousands of citizens all over New Jersey and even in other states. But after about 15 years of doing this and an extensive strategic planning effort, we decided that our greatest strength was in the cities. We've been able to help cities do a lot of things. We created the first hard news outlet in the city of Patterson. That's now been the #1 hyperlocal news outlet for 3 years in a row. We helped citizens in Trenton create an ethics committee when they needed it, and we're working with them now on public safety. We helped citizen leaders to come up in Camden and save $5 million a year on the health insurance of city officials. And so we wanted to really concentrate all of our resources, and although we have volunteer leaders all over the state, and we're going to continue to be statewide as we have in the past, we decided in our strategic plan that we were going to focus on the cities first. And the first 5 cities that we're going to be involved in are Trenton, Perth Amboy, New Brunswick, Jersey City, and Newark. We're underway in New Brunswick and Trenton, and today begins Perth Amboy, and Newark and Jersey City are soon to follow. So that's what this is all about. I know who you are. You are the citizen leaders of Perth Amboy. Every one of you knows what is required of leadership, and you've already demonstrated your commitment to the city. So I'm not here to recruit you. I'm here to thank you and to ask you to work with me to identify new citizen leaders. These can be young people like Edgar Sanchez there from the City Charter School, coming up, he's going to Annapolis next year. He's not in yet, but he's determined, and I know he's going to make it. Or so you got a round of applause. Or even people that are on the older end of the scale like myself, who are retiring and finally got some time and can give back to the city. And I want to review with you some of the resources that we're going to make available, because we are bringing our best experts and our best staff to the city. But I just want to stop there and ask if you have any questions about the Citizens Campaign or about the initiative as I've described it thus far. Okay, either you're enjoying the meal or I'm boring you to death.
You put us on the spot.
I'll give you time to think about it. All right, look, the resources really are primarily free. There's a number of other resources. If you look in the brochure that we handed out, there's all sorts of free tools, and everything that we do is free. We're hundreds of volunteers doing this with a small staff that coordinates the volunteers and makes them available to you. The first I just wanted to review with you is our Law and Policy Task Force. Now this is a group of right now 36, probably within the next month, because we have a number of new recruits, 50 of the state's best government lawyers who've represented cities and school boards and who understand government law from A to Z. Administrators, former school board administrators, city administrators who are now volunteering their time, and policy experts from the state, from the Department of Community Affairs and otherwise. Almost all of us retired and all of us volunteered. And I wanted to introduce to you Dorian Smith. Dorian is a young lawyer who's now the coordinator of the Law and Policy Task Force. And he'll tell you just a couple things about it so you get a flavor. And afterward, if you have any questions, you could ask him one-on-one. Dorian?
I'm not going to stay up here too long. Just want to introduce myself. I'm Dorian Smith. As Terry said, I'm the Law and Policy Task Force Coordinator for the Citizens Campaign. And my role for the Citizens Campaign is to research about the most effective evidence-based solutions out there that can be implemented in municipalities in New Jersey. So ultimately, Perth, Amboy, Trenton, Jersey City, whatever township or city that you live in, are going to have specific concerns and need specific solutions. However, what we try to do is try to compile the most effective solutions and the things that have worked, or at least have evidence that they could work in the cities in New Jersey. So what I try to do is research things that are going on in other cities in New Jersey, or things that are going on in Los Angeles that we can bring to New Jersey, or that other citizens will be able to use to try to impact their own community. So if you look on the website we have here, as I said, I coordinate the Law and Policy Task Force, which is a team of law and policy experts from all around New Jersey, and they try to also do other research for different solutions and vet the solutions that I'll bring to the table. So what we have already, as we've worked with them before, we've put together a small menu of solutions that's continually updated. And things that we think that other citizens or stakeholders will be able to bring to their own communities, and things that will maybe spark other interests or spark other ideas from other people. So what I hope to get from you is another resource, somebody that, a line of communication. You'll be able to talk to me and give any kind of ideas that you have, or whatever your concerns are for your community, so that we may be able to look further and look deeper for better solutions that will ultimately help your community.
Thanks.
Question. How do we identify the laws and regulations that we feel or believe should be modified or added?
That should be added to the list or modified on our list.
In order to be able to adopt model laws, how do you identify what should be adopted?
Well, that's going to depend on where you live. Perth Amboy may not have the exact same dilemmas that Trenton has, for example. So it's ultimately going to come from the community. We don't try to force any of these solutions on you. In fact, we really want to be able to get from you more in order to offer more. So it's going to depend on members of the community, and that's why I try to open this line of communication up, so that we can identify what the problems are in Perth Amboy, so that we can modify these solutions, or that you can modify these solutions when you go there.
Bottom line is, Dorian will respond to you. You pick the issues, we don't. And if you pick the issues, Dorian and the team of lawyers and policy experts will help find evidence-based solutions. That means not something from a philosophy or a political agenda, but something that has evidence that it works somewhere else. And then we'll see if it can be adapted to the needs of the city of Perth Amboy. The second expert or staff member, excuse me, that I'd like to introduce you to is Anil Mohammed. Now, Anil will make sure that we continue to have meetings, that if you have needs in your own organizations for leadership training, that he brings in our teachers and our coaches, and I'll let him tell you more about it. He probably called you on the phone 3 times to get you here tonight. Anil Mohammed.
Thank you, everyone. Again, Anil Mohammed, Senior Field Coordinator with the Citizens Campaign / troublemaker. I've been in many cities across New Jersey. I've helped a number of organizations mobilize their troops through our civic engagement initiatives, our classes. And that's our main resource to getting people off the ground and getting engaged in the community. Every day I hear people say to me, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know I could change that law. I didn't know I could get a response from my city council member. But these are the fundamentals that provide you, not you, but provide the community at large on how they can get involved through our basic classes. How to interact as a citizen legislator and get things done without pointing fingers and laying blame, because that's the biggest stopper to every community. People don't know how to address the issue in a constructive, no blame way. And that's what we do. You want to get information out there? Be a citizen journalist. Report on what's happening. So that is what we do, what I do as a field coordinator, is engage. Engage with organizations, engage with the leadership, and bring our free resources to you. And that's what I do.
That's the #1 troublemaker from the Citizens Campaign. Look, I've already said hello to some people tonight I didn't know, and they said that Neil's already brought our teachers and is teaching citizen empowerment and leadership training in the city already, in the charter school and several other venues. So you might have a nonprofit, a religious organization, even businesses where the employees want to learn how to be leaders, how to be constructive, how to contribute to the public officials here. This isn't about we versus them. This is about how we help our elected officials. We got great leadership in the city and the school district and the mayor and council, but what we're trying to do is create a pool, an expanded pool of constructive leaders. Because if we can tap the dynamic of those people in the citizenry, and that's not everybody, but those people who have the potential to be leaders, who maybe don't have the time or the political inclination to get involved and run for office, but still could make a difference and help find solutions and work with others to make things happen in the city. Perth Amboy is going to continue to be the model to every other city, and that's my personal prejudice. I want to introduce you to one other person I'm going to tell you about the fact that we're putting together a platform, a social media platform, so citizens in the community can talk to each other about solutions and what should be the priority issues, and eventually so that citizens from all the cities will be able to share solutions and the cities will rise up. Heather Taylor, our communications.
Hey guys, so as Harry said, I'm going to be leading up the media and social media component of this. I just want to show you this brand new website that I've been slaving over, but really what this is an online hub for all the good work that Anil's doing, that Dorian's doing. We just want a go-to place. It's impactperthamboy.org. Bookmark it on your website. Email me tips, tell me about community events that are happening, tell me about stories, what's happening in the community. If you have a group, I'll list you. It's really just it's a resource for you guys. It's whatever you want it to become. I'm here just to help. Also, then on our website, as Harry said, we have hired the social media company that did Cory Booker's social media. So they're a pretty high caliber team, and they're helping educate us and give us the resources to facilitate a conversation among the different cities. So if you go, it'll be on our main Citizens Campaign website, but we've created a Twitter handle. It's Impact P Amboy, and we also have one for Trenton, Impact Trenton. And I want you to please come follow us on Twitter, help join this conversation so we can all start talking about the good stuff happening in Perth Amboy and throughout the state, and start a conversation.
Thank you. And Heather said it right, this is a conversation. If we talk and share our ideas, we're going to make a better city, and then we're going to challenge other cities. This is going to work on an informal basis in the beginning. We're going to have monthly meetings. I told you, Neil will set them up, he'll organize. If you miss a meeting, he'll reach out to you and give you an update. If you're busy and things happen in our lives, personal lives and all, and you drop out, don't feel that you're out. You can come back at any time, and we're just going to keep working together as a community. And we'll be informal at first, but after the majority of you decide how you want to organize yourself, how you want to set your leadership, what you want to call yourself, that's up to you. The Citizens Campaign is only going to act in a facilitator role here. It's the citizens of the community of Perth Amboy that need to be able to set the agenda and determine how we're going to move forward. But we do have 3 operating principles, and I'm going to state them up front right now and explain them if you permit me. The first is common purpose. If you got an agenda, you got to find a different bar to drink at. You're not going to be with us. I'm just saying up front. If you care about the city, then let's work together. But we're not here to help people who've got an axe to grind or have a personal agenda, however worthy that agenda might be for their own organization. The agenda of this effort has to be a common purpose agenda, an agenda where the city is the important goal. Second, evidence-based solutions. Again, we're not going to entertain the development or advancement of solutions that come from someone's political agenda. We only are going to look for solutions where there's evidence in other towns or cities that they've already worked already. Not 100%, it might be a part of a solution. You know, the lady that I told you saved $5 million a year in the city of Camden on their health insurance built the solution based just on the basic principles that competition gets you a better price. And then our law experts and policy experts worked with her to make a law that could save the city money. And it was greeted well by the city. The employees backed it, and it was approved unanimously. So the solutions have to be evidence-based. And last but not least, the no-blame approach. Now, this is not just nice etiquette. The no-blame approach is really about working to build from what we have already, researching what the city or the school district is already doing on that issue, and seeing how we can improve upon that. I think if we all take that approach, we're going to make a far better community. It's not about pointing fingers. We got enough of that in politics today. And there are courses that teach these things in the Citizens Campaign. They're online. Anybody can take them for free. And as we said, if you have an organization, Anil can bring you live teachers. And whoever takes a course can get a coach. So we have people who have been anywhere from a former mayor to cabinet officials that will be on the phone and available to answer questions when people get stuck and are trying to figure out how to make things work in a constructive way. So as long as these guiding principles are involved, we're going to be here. And we're making a major commitment, minimally 3 years. We've already raised the money to make sure we can have staff here for 3 years, and our volunteers are already committed to Perth Amboy. So that's our commitment to you. The real question from here is, where do we go from here? And before I ask you if you have any questions, I just want to emphasize one last thing. And that's what Dorian said. The needs of the city that we're going to work on with you and prioritize are the needs that you choose and you as a group decide should be prioritized. And so Anil passed out a form. Does everybody have a copy of that? And on that form, it asks you for 2 things. If there's an issue or a need that you think needs to be addressed, please put it on the form, and Neil will collect them at the end of the meeting. And perhaps even more importantly, if there is a potential leader that you know, I'm not looking for everybody to recruit thousands. If everybody in this room found one new leader, that would be a lot less work for all of you, who I know who have been carrying the load of the civic responsibilities of this city on your shoulders. So if you find one, if you know two, all the better. But try to at least think of one person. You know, Eddie Trujillo helped us put this on tonight. Already volunteered Joel. Come on in, Joel. So, you know, we're on our way, right? I'm just kidding. Joel volunteered before. But hear what I'm saying to you. Everybody knows somebody. You know, Edgar and I, we sailed together, so I got to know that Edgar was not just a real smart high school student, but he's a person who cared about the city. We talked about this while we were sailing, and he said, I want to do something to make the waterfront even better. It's getting good, but I want to make it even better. I want to protect it environmentally, and so on. That's what we got to look for. Everybody knows somebody, if you think hard, knows somebody out there like that. Or somebody, like I said, who's retiring, who's a smart person, got business knowledge or whatever, that we can tap and bring into the betterment of the city. And if we do that, Perth Amboy is not just going to be a city where the mayor and the school board president are going to be able to say we have the most empowered citizenry of any city in the state, but we're going to challenge the other cities. Right now, the cities are the stepchild of the political establishment of this state. The political establishment of this state is organized on a county basis with the county bosses taking care of the suburbs and using the cities whenever they need them politically. All right? If we take power ourselves and bring in new power among our citizenry, and we communicate our common problems and the common solutions that we find with other cities, there's going to grow a political power block of the cities of New Jersey that's going to lead the agenda of our state government. So that's the challenge I put before you, and having done that, I'm going to see if you have any questions or suggestions. Like I said, this is a conversation, and I've talked far too much. Yes?
What strategies do you use to get that common purpose done? How do you evolve into something that you're calling a common purpose? What strategies?
Well, the first thing is whenever people come in, if they start to ask us to help them, and they just got a personal agenda, we say, we're sorry. We wish you luck, but we're sorry. So the people who tend to come to the community tend to be community-oriented. We developed in Newark, when there was a guy named Cory Booker who was a young councilman, we brought together citizens who built 7 reform laws. The New York Times called it, when Cory finally put it through, the most sweeping reform of any city in the country. And we did that because a lot of citizens would come to us and they'd say, you know, Cory's no good, or Cory's the greatest person in the world. We said it's not about Cory, it's about the city. If you want to work for the city, we'll work with you. If you want to work for or against Cory, or you got some other agenda, we just screen them out. And the no-blame approach helps with that as well. Because if you're there really to be constructive, it's hard to be, you know, having an axe to grind. So that's the way it works, and it's worked pretty effectively. We've passed over 250 local laws across New Jersey. Citizens have passed it with the support of our experts and our training. Any other questions? Comments?
Comments. I just want to say that this is more than welcome in Perth Amboy. I think that there's just a dearth of positive energy out there, and that's what we need, this no blame, this common purpose. I think maybe when you're finished with Perth Amboy, you should head to Syria and see if you can do that.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, you know, I'm a dreamer, and I dream if this country can develop a more dynamic citizenry that is common purpose like that it will affect the rest of the world. This is the age of social media. You'd be surprised how fast things will go. But you're right about Perth Amboy. I mean, you know, Hector's standing out here. He's being shy. But I know that there are people like Hector Bonilla and others that when the storms hit, called upon the citizens, and 1,000 people came out. That blew me away. I mean, I'm not kidding you when I tell you how in awe I am. And I've been all over the state. I work in cities all over the state. Perth Amboy has something very special. I know you all know this. But if we can tap that special trait of Perth Amboy, that civic involvement, that sense of pride about and involvement in community, and expand it, that's what we have to do. You need to find the new ones. Old or young, you need to find the new ones, and we'll work with them. I'm not asking you to keep doing more work. You're already doing more than you can handle. We need to find them. We need to find the issues that will bring us together where we can work together and make a better city. Does anyone else have any comments or questions? Yes.
Hi, my name is Maria Alvarez, and
I know you, Maria.
Neil came to, he contacted me, and I said to him, Neil, I don't deal with politics. And he came to our organization. I'm the executive director of a new organization in Perth, Amboy, Casa de Educación y Cultura Latina, which is an organization that is focusing on the preservation of Latino culture and also to promote Latino artists and excellence in the arts. When he came to me, I said, I am very familiar with Citizens Campaign. I want to be involved in politics. He said, there's something that we could bring to, what do you want for the city of Perth Amboy? And although our mission is, I don't believe our mission is narrow, but it's very selective. Our mission is to be able to share our art with the entire community. And as such, Perth Amboy is such a historic place. And I told you what I would like to see is for people to come into Perth Amboy, walk the streets of Perth Amboy, just like they go to Princeton, just like they go to New Brunswick, enjoy the arts, enjoy the historic buildings, enjoy the waterfront, come to this restaurant, go to a local restaurant as well. And he said, maybe we can help you. We can help in terms of, really developing a strategy so that we can, so you're not one organization doing that, but you have a collective of people who may have the same interest doing that. So he's actually going to hopefully make a presentation before our boards really soon.
That's wonderful. That's great. And that's exactly what we need. George Cruz is leading the effort for the Gateway redevelopment planning. Community planning, meaning planning from the bottom up. And as he pointed out to me, one part of that is the arts component and how to work that in to the plans for any redevelopment that's going to occur. And that's exactly the kind of thinking. You're bringing out an issue. Now we've got to see how have others done this, where did they get the money for it, how did they communicate it to others. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to work with you to research this and tap some of our experts to help. And it'll make Perth Amboy a beautiful place to see the arts like this and come and enjoy it. Any other questions or comments? All right, look, I know that you all work so hard, I'm gonna do the nice thing and let you go.